Hi, we are going to cover Bash scripting today. We'll go through list of commands and we'll try to understand that what is Bash scripting and how can we use it. Now it's a very valuable tool for a system admin's toolkit. We must know lots of command in order to understand that how they are used and what's the syntax of it and what's the benefit that we can get out of those commands. Now, if you're liking our videos, kindly subscribe to the channel because I have seen that 95% of our viewers are not subscribed. Now, let's start. First of all, if you remember and you have been following our videos, we tried using some bash commands both when we configured DHCP and our Web1 server. So today we are going to connect to our Web01 server. So in order to do that, I'll type in SSH and then I'll type in the name of the user through which I want to connect to my Web01 server, and then I'll type in the name of the server, which is web01-sayed, and press enter. It would ask me for a password of it and we are connected to it. Now, just like anything else, we'll have to log in as a super user and you can provide the password for that, and it would connect you to the super user account. And as you can see that before we had this $sign in front of it, now we have hash. It means that we are connected as a super user. Now we'll do the same thing, that there would be certain commands that we'll be passing through PuTTY. You can install it as a free version. It's available on their website. So we'll type in web01 and the same name of the server as Sayed and try to press enter. Now it would ask that you want to log in as, I'll say Sayed and I'll provide my password, and then here also I'll log in as a super user. So I'll show you that when we'll be using it and for what purposes, but at the moment we'll just log in over here and we'll leave the terminal open. But before we'll proceed, let me try to do one thing. For example, if I'll exit it from here, I'm exited and I'm back on my Web01, but I did not exit exactly from the Web01 server. As you can see, Web01 is written over here. I'll pass in exit again. So now I am disconnected from Web01 and I am logged in as a normal PowerShell user on my Active Directory. Now I'm going to write a simple script over here just to check that it would write the host, and it would tell me that who's logged in, and it would tell me my details, and then it would write the host again, and it would again say that which operating system is this one at the moment, and then it would show me the output. So if I'll press this, so you can see that I'm logged in as a administrator and I am logged in on my Active Directory server to run these commands. And now if I would like to connect back to my Web01, the procedure would be the same as we did it earlier. We'll type the name of the server as SSH and then Sayed and then Web01. Make sure that the account that you are trying to log in with is a privileged user or a root user. So we'll type in sudo su and it would ask me for the password again. And once we are logged in, you can see the prompt has been changed to the hash sign. It means that we are logged in as a super user. Then the next step is that I want to know the version of the bash on my server. So in order to do that, I'll type in a command echo and then I'll type in echo what is the version of bash at the moment, then bash version. Then I'm using a grep command in order to gather the information, and then echo and where's the path of it. So it is telling me exactly the version of bash that we are using, and it is even telling me the path of the file, which is bin bash. Now if I would like to know the variables path or the path of the environment variables, I can type in echo over here and then I'll have a $sign and I'll tap in path. So it would tell me the path of my environment variable. Further, if you want to get more details about the environment, you'll type in env and it would tell you the environment and all the related information which is there related to your environment. Now once that's done, we need to go back to the normal mode. Like I would like to exit from the privilege mode. I am again on the normal user, as you can see the $sign. Let's clear the screen, and let's try to write the echo and path of it again. And you can see the path of it now, like where I am at the moment and what's the actual path or the directory where I am logged in at the moment. Now if we need to change the directory, what we can do is that we can type in cd and then user and then share, and then for example we are going to the directory of firewall D, press enter, and as you can see that the directory path has been changed. Now if I would like to see the working directory of it, it would show me the full path of it. And if I would like to go one step back in this one, I'll type in cd and then I'll press minus and press enter, and now as you can see that it hopped back to the directory back. Now if I would like to see the working directory of it again, pwd, and you can see that I am in my home directory at the moment. Now if you want to run some of the commands that you have already passed, you can always use the up and down arrow key that would show you the commands that you have recently used in your PowerShell. Further, if you want to see the history of the commands that you have passed in, you can type in history and it would show you all the commands that you have used on your screen so far. So it would list all of them over here. Now since I have been doing lots of other exercises on this one, you can see a complete range of the commands that we used over there. Now we would like to gather some information about our terminal and the kernel versions, etc., plus the Linux version. So for that, what I would do is that I'll go to my putty, and here if I need to create a file over here, I'll type in nano, and then I'll type in the name of the file. For example, I am typing in info.sh. So it would create a file and then we'll write a code in it so that we can get some information as the output on our PowerShell. So once that's done, press enter and type in the code as I'm writing in that one. Now you'll type in welcome to sys, and I'll make some modifications over here. Just I'll say sys255, and then I'm asking for my kernel version, and then I'm asking for my Linux version. Once that's done, press X and press Y so that it can save the file. And now we'll go back to our main PowerShell and we'll type in bash, and we'll type the name of the file, which is info.sh, and press enter. So it would show you all the details as you asked in the file. It told you the kernel version in detail, and that even it told you the Linux version on your system. Now the next thing we'll learn over here is the permissions. Now the most common thing that we do is that we change the permission to the executable files in order to have the leverage on it to run certain commands and to execute certain operations on a file. Now it has to be executed with a flag set. So in order to recall that, what I would do is that I'll type in a command chmod +x, and I'll name the file, which is info.sh, and then I'll use a operator over here to prepend it with // and then I'll type in info.sh, which is the file name. Once I'll press enter, you can see the same file with its permissions and the things as we have requested. Now we are looking at changing the permissions of a script file. So in order to do that, I'm typing in touch, and then I'm naming the script as testscript.sh, and then I'm listing it and the name of the file as testscript.sh, and I'll press enter over here. Now as you can see that it has the shown us the permissions for that file, which are listed over here. Now if I would like to change the permissions on this one, I am going to type in chmod 744 and then test script ls and then -la and then test script.sh and press enter. So now you can see that the permission of the file has been changed over here. Since I worked on the same file, there is no change on this one, but in fact you'll see that the initial file would have read and write over here, whereas if you'll pass this command you'll have a different output over here. Now we'll again use the same operator over here as // and I'll write test script.sh and it would bring me back to my original directory. Now we'll see at the parsing group. I'm just showing you a basic example of it, and you can see it yourself later. I'm just listing the etc password and then the group details over there, so you can see the root details and permissions on this one and the group paths of each. Now next is we are going to get the detail of a one-line command. Now what it's doing is that the command would process the etc group file using the colon as the separator, and then it would have -f and colon option. It would print each line, group name, group ID, group member, and it would format it in a string. Now specifically on each line on the etc group, if the output of the group name and the numerical IB and the member ID would belong to that group, if it is properly formatted in a proper way. Now if I would like to print the group and filter them by the wheel group, it means that the people who have the admin privileges, and press enter, it would show me only the details of the users who have the access as a wheel member, and you can see that there is only user in my case that the Syed has the access to the wheel group only, so it has listed it over here. Similarly, if we would like to print the name, user ID, group ID, home directory, shell, and for the users who are there in etc password directory, and press enter, it would tell us all the users, their directories, and their details related to the same command that we have asked it earlier. Now next is we'll try to see the tree structure of it. So in order to proceed, just make sure that you have the tree application installed on your server. So in order to do that, you'll type in sudo yum and then you'll type in install tree. Since I have installed it, it might not give me the options, but you can simply install it just to make sure that it is properly installed on your computer. Now we are creating a directory structure over here where the bash stuff is the parent directory, and within that we'll have the subdirectories created. And once that's done, I'll press enter and I'll be able to see the output of it, like it has actually created the file inside and the subdirectories of it. And in order to see that the directories and subdirectories which are created, I'll type in tree and then bash stuff and / and press enter. So you'll be able to see the main directory and the subdirectories of it. Now since it is capable of running the loops as well, and in order to check a simple loop over here, if I'll write a sequence of 1 to 10 and press enter, you can see that it has printed a loop of 1 to 10 over here. Similarly, if I would like to print a loop of sequence from title number 1 to 10, I can pass in the command and you can see an output of 1 to 10 over here. Now let's clear the screen and proceed with our rest of the exercises. Now let's try again using our putty. This time we are writing a basic loop script, and in order to do that, I'll type in nano and then I'll type loop.sh and press enter. Here we are writing a normal script like where I is sequence 1 to 10 and then it would close it with a number. We'll close this one and then we'll go back to our screen and we'll type in bash and we'll type in loop.sh. so you'll be able to see the output of it using the script that we wrote. Now similarly, let's write another document where we will use a ping command over here. We call it a ping sweeper. So we are going to name it as ping sweeper over here, and I'll write a code in that one. As you can see that it's a ping sweeper. It would start pinging from 1 to 10 with the IP address, and then it would grab it with the bytes, and then I would say if it is equal to 0, then echo that the ping and the IP address, etc. So we'll close this one and we'll go to our terminal and we'll type in bash ping ping sweeper .sh and press enter. So it's starting the ping, and we'll get an output of the command that we passed in. So it told me the hosts which are up according to the script that we wrote in the ping sweeper. Similarly, we'll write a code for NSLOOKUP as well, nslu.sh, and in this one I'm writing a code. You can write a similar code where NSLOOKUP and I gave the IP address and then I grabbed it with the name and the sequence, and it is closing with the NSLOOKUP details. So we'll type in here as similarly, in order to open it on our terminal, we'll type in nslu.sh and it would scan the ports and it would tell us that which computers are up and what are the DNS names for that. Now let's write another script with a network prefix. So I'll create another file called nano and then I'll call it nslu1.sh and press enter. Now I'm writing a basic prefix command over here which would scan the network with the prefix of 10.0.5. So in order to perform that operation, we'll go to our terminal and we'll type in bash and I'll type in nslu1.sh and then I'll type in 10.0.5. So now it would scan all the networks in the same sequence in 10.0.5 as I have provided the details over there. Similarly, we can perform a nmap scan on this one, but mind it that if nmap is not installed on your computer, you'll have to install it first. So I'll create a file called nmapscan.sh and press enter. As you can see, I will be scanning using nmap, and if it's not installed, you'll have to type in sudo yum install nmap -y in order to install it. So I'll exit from here and I'll pass in the command over here as bash and nmap underscore scan.sh, and then we can give the address, for example, over here, as we would provide again 10.0.5, and it would enter, or it would ask for the details over here. You'll enter it and now it is running it that it did not find any addresses over there which were active. So that's how you can use bash scripting in order to perform different operations on your computer. I think it was clear. It was a small tutorial on learning how can we run different bash commands on your computer. That's it for today. Thank you very much.